Hello, fellow hunters! Welcome to Monster Hunter Wilds. I see that we have a lot of new faces joining us, probably many more are gonna join us later. But for those that are already here, if you survived the first few hunts, then it is very likely that your soul belongs to Capcom now. Or at least for the next few months anyway. During this time, the only thing that you will be able to do is to hunt. And hunt you shall, as you are introduced to the game's various elements, its story, and its huge world. Should this be your first Monster Hunter experience, then I have some suggestions to how to go about getting as much enjoyment as possible from it. The first thing I wholeheartedly recommend is explore! This game is huge, both in terms of the different locales you get to visit and how much there is to discover in each of them. Each is a unique biome with their distinct ecosystems and resources that can be tapped into throughout your journey through this game. One very neat thing that was implemented in Monster Hunter Wilds is the inclusion of seasons, and the unique ways they can alter the locales you explore. For example, windward plains go through a period of severe sandstorms and lightning storms that alter the behavior of endemic life found there, as well as the behavior of some monsters. These changes in behavior can open up new options for environmental hazards that can be used against the hunted beastie. Data also applies to the discovery and capture of endemic life found throughout all the zones, with some being hidden away until the right weather conditions appear. Others have to be fished from different water sources found around the map, with some of those being crafted ingredients for some very useful items and equipment. Your hunter even takes notes on the many endemic life they encounter, filling them out in the same way that you will fill out a Pokédex, adding a collector element to it for people that like that kind of thing. Lastly, there are all the resources that you can start gathering from the get-go, and I highly recommend that you do so. That is because you will be crafting a lot throughout your journey, even more so when you eventually get to the harder hunts. They get more dangerous, requiring a lot more items to stay alive, which can burn through your reserves rather quickly. So I think it's better to start stocking up early so that your high rank experience isn't so quickly disrupted by the need for resource farming. You can make the most out of the introductory segment of the game by doing a lot of exploration and resource gathering thanks to how little risk there are for doing so and can be done relatively unimpeded. It also helps a lot that you have a trusty secret mount that can help you easily run away should a monster get mad at you, so that you can continue exploring in peace. My second suggestion would be to get as familiar as possible with the monsters available to you in low rank. And the best way to do that is by hunting! Not only is what this game is all about, but also you will be facing more dangerous versions of them later on as you progress through the game. Low rank is where you can more easily get familiarized with how they fight and how they can use their environment to their advantage. This matters because during the learning process you will get hit. A lot. Or at least until you learn what's needed to avoid getting hit, such as when to dodge, sidestep, or block. This familiarity is also the key to mastering one of the new additions to Monster Hunter, offset moves. These are essentially counters that can be executed by a select number of weapons that must be carried out with very specific timing in response to an attack. This makes low rank the perfect arena to master it since you can get smacked around more often without carding and potentially failing a hunt. Another benefit to this is that you will slowly come up with your own approach to hunting, developing little nuggets of wisdom as you spend more time playing, and that will be of great use in surviving the harder content. You will also get to see how some monsters interact with others that enter the territories, often leading to immersing tough wars that are always a must watch. It is also another means of increasing your resource and material stockpile so that eventually you have enough to craft any weapon and armor that catches your attention, or that you might need. It will be how you will discover that you have a better edge in combat by wielding weapons of certain elements because the monsters are weak to it. That is invaluable information that hunting can give you, and that will remain relevant for most of the game and even in the future content. Which leads me to my third suggestion, to explore all the weapons that catch your eye. The earliest segments of the game are the perfect place for you to discover what your preferred weapons are, which is primarily why I'm encouraging people to hunt as much as possible. More so because there are 14 weapon types available to the hunter, each having their own moveset advantages and disadvantages. As mentioned previously, some of these have offset moves with very specific timing which can influence whether or not you end up liking a certain weapon. They all have their own unique look that depends on the materials that are used to craft or upgraded, with some of the designs being incredible. There is also the new thing that was added in Wilds, which is that now they have skills as part of the weapon. In previous entries, all skills were on your armor, so what determined most of your build was what you chose to wear. Now, weapons have skills that can be used to maximize the value of whatever you are building into. So the more weapons you craft, the more build options you will have, and the more creative you can get with the builds you might want to make. Awesome, eh? This makes low rank the perfect sandbox for new hunters to play around with builds and test out new weapons without having to make deep commitments. At least until they discover what weapons they want to focus on, since some of these can have intricate mechanics that can require significant time investment in order to use them effectively. An example is my weapon of choice, the hunting horn, and its different melodies that I am in the process of getting a proper handle on. By using it, I am finding out what makes it the powerhouse that it is, at the same time as I am providing support for my fellow hunters. If all of this feels like it will be a grind, and I'll be honest with you, it's because it very much is. Crafting weapons and armor, especially at the later parts of the game, can require multiple hunts before they yield the required materials. And that is not taking into account the endgame that is decoration farming, which you will get intimately acquainted with if you reach that far. That's because we hunters are entirely at the mercy of RNGesus and the desire sensor. Don't give me crap about how it ain't real, because it very much is. And whoever says otherwise, they're trying to sell you something, so don't listen to those naysayers. In any case, this is a game where you will be hunting constantly in order to get all the things that you want, so I think it's a good idea to get used to it as early as possible. But not to worry, because your fellow hunters will be there every step of the way to make it as fun as possible. Hunting is awesome with friends, but even if they don't happen to be available, you can dive into the multiplayer lobbies, where you can find those who will accompany you on your journey to become an awesome hunter. They will help you overcome particularly hard monsters, teach you all sorts of things about the game, reveal to you where the particular elusive endemic life is, and who knows, maybe you will forge new friendships along the way. In any case, the non-stop hunts will enable you to master whatever weapon you choose, whatever hunt you undertake, and transform you into an even better hunter. So, hopefully this general suggestion helped you do just that. If it did, then hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to know when the next video drops. Thank you all for watching, and take care.